There's so many different things that Autism Speaks do, and I really have to commend you guys because you are a presence and you are a very visible presence. And I think sometimes it certainly is to the benefit of all of us that you are, but sometimes it's to your detriment because you do so much that I think some of it gets lost in the shuffle. And I'm really thrilled to have you here today to point up some of the different things that you do that families could be taking advantage of. Let's start by saying a little bit about your background and how you came to work in this field.
Well, actually, I'm the parent of 2 children. I have a daughter who's 20, and my son Andrew is 16, and he has autism. And my background actually is in business. I worked for Saks Avenue for 19 years. And Andrew was about to start kindergarten. I was fortunate enough to stop working for a little to try and get him integrated into our community. And so I got very involved with our local school district and with autism organizations locally. And then when Autism Speaks had started up, about a year after they started, they formed a family services committee, and that was made up of board members, and they needed someone who knew autism but had a business background who could execute some of the initiatives that the Family Services Committee had put forth. And so I was fortunate enough to first be hired as a consultant and then later on to actually be able to head up Family Services as it became a part of the Autism Speaks mission. So I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity and so blessed to be able to meet so many wonderful people.
Well, we're thrilled that you're there because you know firsthand. And we were saying during the break, whenever I hear that somebody has a child on the spectrum who's a teenager, I say, oh, I'm so glad to know because I'm going to need help later on. I'll be calling you about that when we get to 16. Maybe when we get to 13, I don't know. Right. In any case, let's talk about some of the different things, some of the different services that are available to families that they can check out and where they can find them.
Right. So at Autism Speaks, our goal is really to connect families with resources. So we do that in a variety of ways. One of the ways that we do that is through Autism Response Team. So we actually have trained staff. They're regionalized throughout the country that answer emails and phone calls from families. And we have a bilingual Autism Response Team member that actually can help our Spanish-speaking families as well. And they really they answer about 2,000 emails or phone calls a month.
Wow.
And so that's one of the ways that we're able to connect families with resources. We also have a tremendous amount of online resources. Everything is free of charge. We don't charge families for anything that we can provide to them. And so we have things throughout the journey of autism. So from when you first get that diagnosis, we have a 100-day kit for newly diagnosed families, and that to families free of charge. And we personalize that kit with information specific to the child's age and location so that they can really get started during those first few months in terms of finding services, but also in terms of understanding how they may be feeling, how other members of the family may be feeling, and what they can do to help their child.
Yeah, that 100-day kit is an absolutely amazing thing, and they can do one of two things. Correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes you guys update things, and I'm not always kept up to date. But sure. Used to be that you could either send away for it and it would be mailed to you, or that you could just download it. Is that still true?
Those options are still available.
Okay.
So anyone can go online. You can download it free of charge, or you can call one of our Autism Response Team members and ask for a kit, and we'll send that to you free of charge.
And again, where can they find the number to call an autism response person, and where can they find the link to get the 100-day kit?
All of that is available on autismspeaks.org. The toll-free number is 888-AUTISM-2. Or you can email family services at autismspeaks.org.
Okay, and if that's all you guys did, that would be a great service, but that's only scratching the surface of the kinds of things that you guys do. Tell us a little bit about the School Community Toolkit.
So we know that more and more children with autism are being included in their local school communities. And so we really wanted to provide information to all those in the school building, whether it's the bus driver, the school nurse, peers, office staff, how to best support the learner with autism. So it's not curriculum, but it's information about autism, about Asperger's syndrome, how you can best support them in your specific environment. And so, again, anyone can go onto our website at autismspeaks.org and download that resource free of charge. And one thing just to mention about all of our toolkits, we are so fortunate that we are able to reach out to experts and clinicians throughout the country to provide us with input as to what should be included and the best types of resources. But then we always have a parent or a family advisory committee as well to really make sure that we're meeting the needs of our families.
Absolutely wonderful. We just had a question come in from somebody who wants to know if the toolkit is available in different languages. I know you mentioned Spanish.
Right, it is available. The 100-Day Kit is available in Spanish, and some of our other resources are available and translated on our website, but that's something that we continue to work on.
Great. Absolutely wonderful. And I know you, because you have a teenager on the spectrum, that this is a particular interest for you, this transition time. And Autism Speaks has been working really hard on this. What's available for parents who've got those teens and you want to make that smooth transition to adulthood?
Right. So about 2 years ago, we introduced our transition toolkit, again, bringing together a great group of people with autism, experts and clinicians and families to be able to provide sort of a roadmap for the journey from adolescence to adulthood, understanding that the educational entitlements that are there when your child is still in school are no longer available once they enter adult services. And so to really prepare families and individuals with autism for that journey. And one of the guiding principles or hallmarks of that is really self-advocacy, and to really be able to start teaching those skills early and often, so that your child is be as independent as possible in their adult life.
Okay, so again, parents can get that toolkit.
To download, or they can download it, or they can call and we will send them one.
Okay, can you talk a little bit to us about the work of the Advancing Futures for Adults with Autism? That I understand that it's a consortium that Autism Speaks has started and that you guys are spearheading. What does it do, and how can our parents get access to information about that?
So Advancing Futures for Adults with Autism started in 2008, and it's a consortium of organizations that came together to really focus on the needs of adults with autism. And we knew that it's such an important topic and so all-encompassing that we would be a stronger group if we did that together as opposed to each group doing it individually. And so we have 15 different organizations throughout the country. Some are national, some are more local. And we meet to really focus on issues of employment, of housing and residential supports, community integration, and public policy, because we know that in order to better meet the needs of autism, there really need to be some public and private partnerships. And so I would encourage anyone who's interested in advancing futures for adults with autism to go on to afaa-us.org. And that's a website. It has all of our partner information, and it has updates on some of the work that we're doing.